One moment. I just had to grab all the stuff that I'm gonna show for this video because I wasn't prepared. I hit record and then I was like, I'm stupid. I'm a big dumb butt.
Boom. Roasted.
So this is take 2, basically, because the audio got messed up last night, and it was enough of the video for me to be like, I'm just gonna re-record this. I went to Japan. Granted, I'm a couple weeks removed from it, but I'm here to basically document and talk about my experience. If this helps anybody else who's currently planning a trip to Japan, especially ones who are taking a solo trip, even better. Really using this as educational purposes for you, but if you get that out of it, then awesome. So, story time. I'm gonna basically just take you through my days starting from Sunday, November 5th, Eastern Standard Time, to today, basically, even though I'm not there right now. You're gonna get my feelings and stuff and thoughts up until this point. So, let's start from the beginning.
Are you still there? To delete this message, press 7. To save it in the archives, press 9. To hear more options, press 0. What are you doing?
Before I start, just a few things. I went alone. This is my first intercontinental trip. This is the first time being out of the time zone. The furthest that I've been up until that point was to Toronto. No, the furthest that I've been is Florida. I keep forgetting that I went to Disney. It's been over a decade, but I've never traveled this far. And the plane ride was 13 hours there from Minnesota and 10 hours back. It was a lot of travel, especially for my first time. But I wanted to do this, and I've wanted to do it for a while, and I'm gonna tell you all about it, starting from Sunday morning. Woke up around 3, had to be at the airport by like 4 because I was catching my flight at 6 a.m. I don't think I had any delays, really, any severe delays. I flew with Delta, and I had a really good experience compared to the other experiences that I've had flying. This was the best one. By the time that I got off the plane, landed in Haneda, through customs, through immigration, which was very fast and very convenient, especially with the Visit Japan web app. Getting all of that filled out was perfect. However, my anxiety-ridden ass, once I got into the terminal where I would then board a train to go to my hotel, got a little nervous. And that's going to be my first tip. Try not to get nervous. And I know that's way easier said than done, but I allowed the anxiety to overcome a little bit. I picked up my SIM card, which was the first thing that I did whenever I got in the terminal, and then I went on my phone. Took like 20 minutes to try and get the SIM card set up because that's a whole different thing. And then once I got it, I could finally use Google Maps and try and figure out what train I need to be on. It's very intimidating the first time you see it. However, your mind starts to just race with a bunch of thoughts, and you can't really think of the best decision or the best course of action. But I got to a point where I was like, I have to hop on a train, and this is the one that it says to hop on, and I'm gonna hope that it's the correct one. If you're not as anxious when you land, it's very easy. After the first time I took the train, the rest of the week was fine, and I knew exactly what to look for on Google Maps. I knew exactly what to look for in terminals. Smooth sailing for the rest of the week. All it took was one time, one experience, and it clicks. I finally get on the train, and it's about a 45-minute to 50-minute train ride from the terminal in Haneda to my hotel, where I was staying in Koto City at Hotel East 21. The anxiety, once again, was filling my entire body. This is the first time I ever booked a hotel with my workplace. I was under the assumption that for some reason it was just not gonna work. So rolling up to the hotel hours past check-in, I was very nervous and fully prepared to walk up there and then tell me that I can't check in. However, it went without a hitch. I went to the front desk, I gave them my passport, my name, and they're like, yes, we're expecting you. And we also upgraded your room. What? They didn't tell me how it was upgraded because I knew whenever I walked into the room, it was a double bed, and I knew that's what I booked because I got a really good deal on it, and I wanted the space. So I walk in, and what I was greeted by was this. Yeah, so I walk in and my view is immaculate. Just a perfect view of Tokyo Skytree, which I took as a sign that that's probably what I should do first. I was exhausted from all the traveling. I just wanted to rest, get myself settled into my hotel room, and sleep. So that's what I did, or at least tried to do. We'll get into the sleep aspect of it later. It's not been good. Day 2, I go to Tokyo Skytree. Taking the view as a sign that I should go to the Skytree first. It actually worked out because the Skytree was close enough that I could just walk and explore the route to the Skytree from my hotel and take in the scenery. I was walking by shrines, I was walking by parks, especially the most popular park that was near me, Kiba Park, taking in all the sounds and all the sights until I got to the Skytree Mall, which I didn't get a lot. I do have a couple things that I got. We'll start with the first shop that I went to, the Skytree gift shop. Picked up a couple souvenirs for family, but for me, they were having a promotion, an event, whatever it's called, where they were selling a lot of merchandise that had the Hokusai wave. So Katsushika Hokusai, if you've ever seen this picture, that's who did it. And they had a lot of stuff that was branded with it. And this is one of the things, which is just a coffee mug. Nothing crazy. It's kind of small for my liking because, you know, I'm big American man and loves caffeine, but it was nice. It's very cute. Just a little too small for big old me. Another thing that's really cool was this shirt. God, I'm terrible at presenting. That has this really nice design, especially on the back of Mount Fuji and the Hokusai project, and also has the wave at the, or not the wave at the bottom. It has like flamingos and stuff and whatnot. But it's a really nice shirt, but I really like the pattern, so I had to get it. And there were a couple other things. I didn't take any video of it. I didn't take much video because I was just anxious the entire time. So I will show you what I do have. After I had left the Skytree gift shop, I went into the main shopping area and just perused till I found the Pokemon Center. I didn't get much. Like, I thought I was gonna get more. I thought at least that they would have more cards, but they didn't have a lot. I did buy a box of cards. I think it was just a starter deck of some new EXs. It's okay, fine. But I did buy were a couple bowls that can be used for like soba or rice, that have Pikachu on it. Very, very cute patterns, but I don't believe that they are dishwasher safe. I put one in the dishwasher and it looks like it's damaged it a little bit right on the edge here. You can see the little white marks there. I'm not gonna wash them in the dishwasher anymore. I didn't do much shopping after that. Got a couple things for Doug and a couple other things for myself at the Pokemon Center. Just a couple B-side label stickers for both of us. But after that, I just kind of explored a bunch of different shops that are in there. They have the garden that's on one of the floors. I can't remember. They also have, what I do have footage of, are 2 exhibits, a Macross exhibit and a Chiba Institute of Technology exhibit, like a robotics institute, that you can just walk in. Like, they have greeters there and people who can like walk you through it, and it's just free. After that, I just went to a ramen bar and had dinner and just walked back. What sucks, another thing I will say, I expected the weather to be around 60, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I got there and it was 80 for the entire week. Anyway, had dinner, went back to the hotel room, and just crashed until the big spending day, Akihabara. So Akihabara, arguably the highlight of my trip. It's not painfully obvious with all the shit. I'm a big old weeb. So this was the day that I was most excited about and most dreading, because I felt as though this was going to be one of, if not the biggest spending day that I was going to have. Not really. So let's just go through the day, because I did a lot. There wasn't much that I could do in the morning because shops don't open until 10 or 11 a.m. I can't remember which. But when I left the hotel, the first place that I went to once I got off the train was Hard Off. If you don't know what Hard Off is a I think it's completely secondhand like in electronics, video games. I had expected to spend a lot of money in there, but I didn't really. What I got in there, whenever I first walked in, the first floor that I saw was the music floor, and like the stereo and music floor as well, but I was mainly there for the instruments. And what I found was, off the pedal board, was this. It's like the Miku video all over again. This pedal, I had no idea what it was, which was the only reason that I bought it. The tag that was on it just said Lectique EDM, and I was like, I like EDM music, I'm gonna buy it. There's no markings, as you can see on the pedal itself. On the knobs, nothing. There's no markings telling you what the knobs do at all, and there's no anything on the back. The only thing that really gives you any sort of distinguishing factor, if you didn't know what this is if you take the plate off, the maker of the pedal has handwritten his signature and the serial number on the back of it. This is, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I played it, is a reverb and delay pedal that has like oscillation in it as well. Really, really nice pedal. I bought it for about 16,000 yen, which is like $150, give or take, USD. And I can't find these for sale on eBay for any less than like 250, 300. So while I was there, which I should have bought more, what I'll cut in right now is the hard off guitar strap that I bought. I say I should have bought more because I bought it for $5, and when I got it back and put it on the guitar that when I got back and put it on the guitar that I wanted to put it on, it looked so good that I was like, I have to order more now. Sadly, as far as I could tell, I couldn't find any that were under $50 on Amazon. Yeah, but I do have a couple friends who are going to Japan in the next few months and then next year, and I'm probably gonna try and get them to go there and buy me more. So we'll see. The last thing that I got at Hard Off before I left was actually something that I just stumbled upon and wanted to buy because it was a part of my childhood, and that is a PlayStation 1 game called Intelligent Cube. Now, if you've never seen this before, I wouldn't be surprised, unless you live in Japan, and even in Japan, I don't really think that this is a sought-after game. I mean, I bought this for 300 yen. The English version of this costs a lot of money, and I used to have it as a kid, but of course, as a kid, you don't know what the actual value is whenever it's just blown up in the future. I lost it or destroyed it. I don't know. One or the other. But I wanted to get this again because I do have a PlayStation that can play these, and you don't need to know Japanese to get through this game. It's a puzzle platformer? You're literally on a platform, and you're trying to eliminate blocks as they come and try to crush you with other blocks? Yeah. And if you've never seen it and you want to see me play it, then leave it in the comments below. I would love to go down memory lane and play this and have you guys experience it with me as well. What I did not know, right next to this game, was a sequel that we never got here, Intelligence Cube Final. I don't know what this is. I've never seen this before. I've never heard of it. I don't think I've seen gameplay. I don't know how much more you can build off of what was already there, but again, if you want to see me play it, let me know. We'll find out together. After I had left Hard Off, my next stop was Don Quixote. And if you don't know what Don Quixote is, it's basically like, it's like Dollar Tree, but bigger and better, or like Dollar General. At Don Quixote, really was just shopping for souvenirs for family and friends. Got a couple t-shirts for mom and dad and my friend Sai. And I also got a sweater that I really like from a company called Red Cap Girl. What sucks is that they didn't have the size that I wanted. So I got this, and it does fit me, but it doesn't fit the way that I wanted to. I wanted it baggy. But you know, again, being a very large American man, there's not much that I can really get in that style, in that fit, retail there, because they're smaller. But it's really nice, and it's all embroidered, and I only got it for like 20 bucks, like 20 US dollars. And it's a really, really nice sweater. I followed them on Instagram, and I'll leave the link below so you can check out more of their stuff if you dig this kind of aesthetic. I want to get more, but I need it bigger. But I've worn this a couple times already, and it's a great sweater, especially for how much I paid for it. And that was I only saw it in Don Quixote while I was there, so I don't know if it's an exclusive partnership or a deal, but I know they have an online website or an online store as well, so it could be more than that. Either way, I really like this. While I was there, I also got some stationery for my friend V, and I also got a couple things for my friends in Texas. I won't get into that. I still have to ship it. I'll get there. I literally packed up the box and forgot about it because I'm a terrible person and a terrible friend. So, yay. After I got done at Don Quixote, the main event for that day for me, even though that's not where I bought the most stuff, I went to Mandarake, which is a very, very popular secondhand Japanese toy store, electronics store. It's very, very otaku coded, and I had seen it in the old Max Mofo vlogs, and ever since I had seen them, I knew I wanted to go there. I mainly wanted to because I wanted to buy Pokemon cards because they were so cheap, but I didn't buy any there. The only thing that I bought was a figure because there wasn't anything else that I saw that really tickled my fancy. And I was also being very cautious about my spending at that point, not realizing how much money I would come back with, and we'll talk about that more later. I had only bought one figure. Now, story time about this. I walk up to the case that has the Fate figures. As I walk up, I see a Musashi figure that's really nice. I look at the price tag and it says 3,800 yen, or like 3,850. I don't remember. I just know it was 3,800. Which if you do the quick conversion is less than $38. And it was a very nice figure. Like, it was a 1/7 scale figure, really big, probably better that I didn't get it, but I wanted it. I was like, if it's this cheap, I'll find a way to get it into my suitcase. So I asked the employee to come open up the case. Opens up the case, he grabs it for me, he inspects it, he shows me, he's like, yeah, just so you can see the condition of the box and everything. And then he goes to say, this is 38,000 yen, which, if you do the quick conversion, is just somewhat less than $380. And at that point, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money on one thing, especially since I'm looking for other things that are around that same price, hoping to get it as well. Spoiler alert, I did not get either of the big things that I was going for, whether it be the Persona 4 Gold, or not the Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 Dancing All Night PS Vita console, or a Fake Grand Order Seiko watch. Did not find one at all there. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want it. I thought it was 3,800, which is fine. I totally understand. So he puts it back in the case, and I was like, I felt bad because I didn't buy it. So right next to it, I saw another figure of another servant that I enjoy, and that was relatively cheaper. I mean, it is the most money that I spent on a figure so far, but it was way cheaper. It was around 15,000 yen, and it is Okita. Very, very nice figure. I believe it's a 1/8 scale. I can't remember. Like I said, 15,000 yen, so a little under 150 bucks. The only issue that was with it, whenever I pulled it out of the box, whenever I got back here, I didn't take it out while I was in the hotel, was that the peg on one of the feet were broken. Not a big deal at all. Super glue fixed it, and it's way sturdier than it was before. So that's really cool. It now gives me an excuse because I need to get one of those glass cases, those big IKEA ones, because I'm out of room on my bookshelf. After Mandarake, after walking through, I had made my way to Taito Station, and there I had been looking for a couple things, just in general, crane games that I can play, and hopefully some plushies or figures that I liked, which I did find, and I'll show you in a second. Before that, the second floor was the arcade section. I had found it, and I was elated because these machines are starting to get dismantled. So there's not going to be a ton left, not many in the next year or so, if any. I saw it, I was really excited, and I was like, okay, I have to try and play it. So I got the card that you have to get. I got the Nemo card that you need to play it and create an account with. However, that's as far as I got. I spent 45 minutes putting this card up and down. Couldn't figure it out. At that point, I was so anxiety ridden that I didn't want to ask anybody for help, which, another tip, don't be afraid to ask anybody for help. They are very, very accommodating to foreigners, most of them, maybe not the older generation. You ask somebody who is like working at a place, they will help you more than you think. Just don't be afraid to ask for help. At that point, I was just done with it, and I wanted to go and move on and look at figures and stuff. So next floor I see are figures, and the first two figures that I met with are these two. The first one was one that I was actually looking for a while, that I had in a couple shopping carts on Mercari, is Ruby from Oshinoko. And the other one, which I was looking for as well, is Lum from Urusei Yatsura. I don't have a Lum figure yet, and I love Urusei Yatsura. I'm just staring at her ass at this point. God damn. Jesus Christ. It's a hefty figure. I do want to talk about something, and I could be wrong. It's entirely possible that I'm wrong. I would not put it past myself. I'm wrong about a lot of things. Okay, I didn't look harder because I didn't really find any other figures or plushies that I wanted to try and win. But both of these machines, as I was playing them, I noticed there was a little label. I didn't sumimasen. If you watch Connor's videos, which I'm sure you do if you're here, a lot of you came from Connor's channel. You know that for his crane game videos, you can sumimasen and they'll help you out if you get stuck on a crane game. There was a label on both of the crane games that said, staff can only reset the prize for you. So if you get stuck to a point where you really cannot get the figure to move, you can ask for help. However, they're not going to position it like in the area that it's at. If you've made progress and then got stuck, they can only reset the prize to its starting point. Again, I did not look hard enough at the other machines to see if they actually had that as well. But if they do, I'm placing the blame fully on Connor, because I bet you there's a ton of tourists who watch his videos and knew that you can go there and basically sumimasen to get help. And well, I wouldn't doubt if all of them say that, that's the reason. They just got too many people asking for help. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they were just like premium figures or newer figures, because those were the first two that I saw whenever I walked in. Maybe that's just for those two, or maybe it's just for the first like row of figures. I don't know. I'll take my word for it. That's all I saw. After I got done at the game station, there was only one more place in Akihabara that I really wanted to stop before grabbing dinner and then going back to the hotel. And that was a store that I actually mentioned in my last video about the Miku Stomp. And it was the music store that the pedal came from, Ikabe. At that point, I did not know if it had still existed. I was hoping that it did. And with very quick Google search, I found out that it did. So I had to stop there. Run-of-the-mill music store. Just walked through, saw a couple Tama Thrones that I had never seen before that were limited edition. And I kind of want one now. One of the things that I wanted to get there that my friend Syed asked for was a t-shirt from the store if they had them. Sadly, they didn't have any. Kind of bummed myself because I also wanted to get one for myself. But it is what it is. They didn't have any stickers or anything either. So just walked through, looked around, and went on my merry way. After that, I just picked up food from Family Mart, which was the first night that I actually went to Family Mart. Yes, Family Mart socks. And I got the Fammy Chicky. Really good for it being like less than $2 a piece of chicken, dude. So that was my dinner, just Fammy Chicky and socks. After that, I just had one more full day of shopping and exploration until I had to leave. So what am I counting this as? Day 4, Shibuya Day. Today was one of the days, if not the day, that I expected to spend the most money, and I spent very little. Apart from being known for the giant pedestrian crossing intersection, is also known for its shopping, specifically fashion. I went to a decent amount of stores and just either couldn't find anything that I really liked or anything in my size. Really, the only place that came close was Uniqlo, and that's something that I can just get pretty much anywhere. I went to one of the biggest buildings for shopping is the Shibuya 109 building. So if you've seen photos of Shibuya, You've probably seen this building, very famous in the backdrop, and all it is just 10 floors, I think, of just clothes. So I walked in expecting to just be in there for hours. Went to I think it was a Uniqlo at the bottom floor. Explored the Uniqlo, didn't see anything for me. And then started going up the escalator, only to realize that it's mostly women's clothing. Which a red Cap Girl sweater could easily just be a woman's sweater. I don't know. But it was mostly dresses and like high fashion stuff. And I wasn't into it. So I went all the way up and then all the way down and came out with nothing. I went to a Nike shoe store thinking I was going to come out with a new pair of Dunks. Didn't, because there, again, wasn't much that I really liked or figured that would go with my wardrobe. So I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping to come back with some fashion, which I did a little bit, but not from Shibuya. I stopped at a Mondadake there. It wasn't as good as the one in Akihabara. I left that Mondadake with an N64 controller. It was the Mario Kart limited edition one that was half black and half gray, only to come back here, test it out, and find out that it didn't work. I took it apart. I cleaned all the contacts. I cleaned the shell. I cleaned all of the membranes, everything, and it doesn't work. So I'm assuming that it's either a problem with the board or a problem with the cable or the port. So I'm just going to buy a bunch of junk controllers and hope that I can replace parts, but it was 800 yen. I'm not that beat up about it. Apart from that, I had Krispy Kreme for dinner that night, which was hilarious, and then went back to the hotel room after exploring, just walking around Shibuya at night, just taking everything in, because I knew that was the last night that I was going to be able to see any different part of Japan apart from the hotel and the airport. A little bittersweet, especially being in the city at night, which is like my favorite aesthetic. Walking around, looking at city lights at night and just taking in the sounds and the sights until I had to go back and sleep for the final night in a hotel room in Koto City. Departure day, very mundane. I woke up early, ordered McDonald's from Uber Eats, ordered macarons. Like, here's a picture of macarons from McDonald's. I ordered that in the morning. We don't have that here. Just waited until 11 a.m., which was my checkout time for the hotel. Hung out at the airport until 5 p.m. when my flight back to Minneapolis was departing. I got to the gate super early, so I was the first one there and had a lot of time to just kind of sit there and contemplate life, looking out of the window. Really have it set in, and it was really important to me that I did this, and it was really important to me that I did this by myself. I found out very quickly that if I did have friends or family with me, I would have had a lot more fun, because I would have been more outgoing in places, like choosing places to go. If I walked by a store or a restaurant, just go in and see what they had going on. But I wanted to do this for myself because it was therapeutic. It was exciting. It was, I want to say, groundbreaking, in terms of the ground being like my anxiety and willingness to do something on my own, and have not like the fear, but the feeling of you don't know what you're getting into. Even though I did a ton of research prior to this, it was still something that I knew I wasn't fully going to be prepared for. I prepared pretty well prior, but just being there and taking in the sights was really nice. I guess closing statements, it's really nice. It's really good. I loved being there, but it's romanticized to a point, especially with a demographic that I'm a part of, that it's this utopia or this otaku's paradise, which in comparison to other countries, yes, this is as good as it gets. But you do need to realize that this is a country just like any other country. They have values, they have standards that you have to follow. You can't just be a menace. Like most of the streamers and YouTubers that have been there recently, place has laws more strict than most places. I guess my main point is that it is a country just like any other, not a paradise. It definitely has its issues. Every country does, but the expectation that you're following their rules and their values, and that you're not in the country that you live in anymore. That goes with anywhere, but especially Japan. Apart from that, it's incredible. I had a ton of fun. I saw a lot of things that I never expected that I expected to see ever in my life. I will do it again. I don't know if I will vlog more. It really depends on my anxiety, the people around me, the streamers around me, and if I get bigger, I guess. I mean, I can bring somebody with me and vlog. Who knows? We'll see what time tells. That's pretty much it. I scripted this whole thing out, and it's on my laptop. But seeing as though I had to film this entire thing again, I thought I would just do it off the cuff and reminisce, basically, instead of reading off of an outline. It wasn't a full script. If you're planning on going to Japan anytime soon, or if you want to, leave tips for your peers who also are planning or want to go to Japan in the comments below. And also leave me tips for whenever I go for the second time, whenever I go longer. Leave me your stories from Japan or your dreams about Japan or any questions that you have about Japan. And this community will do their best to answer, and we can chat about it. We can also chat about it on my Discord, which I'll leave in the description below as well. Not very active like right now, but that's mainly because there's not a lot of people there. So if you want to start it up, go and join. I'm in there a decent amount, and you can talk to me. Another thing, just really quick, I don't think I'm going to do an entire video on it. We reached 1,000 subscribers. I think we did before the Miku video, and I just didn't mention it. But if not, we reached 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. And I don't have anything planned for 1,000, but I do have something planned if we ever do get to 10,000. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will tell you, it is the most embarrassing thing that I will do on this channel, probably all time, unless I find a way to beat it. And it involves me and Nick. And I'll give you a little spoiler. We've been doing this YouTube thing together since we were about 16. And to give you an idea, I'm 30 now. So if you want to see that, subscribe, like the video, tell your friends to subscribe if they enjoy this type of content. And that's pretty much it. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.